How could I possibly be expected to go without Domino's on a day like this? Alexa, ask Domino's to place my easy order.
Ordering Domino's.
Life moves pretty fast. If you can't track your pizza, you could miss it.
Order 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each and track them on your favorite device.
At Joseph A. Bank, buy one, get one free and get all your wardrobe essentials. Also, buy one, get one 50% off on shoes, plus traveler suits are $249. And all signature sport coats and blazers are just $199. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
You know what makes me a weather geek is owning like 5 weather stations at my house, and then I name them. Who does that? Seriously. I did. I named my weather station Albedo. For you weather geeks, you'll understand what that is. And then I have Albedo Jr. Don't ask. Join the Weather Channel fan community at weloveweather.tv.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or been diagnosed with another asbestos-related cancer, call now. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Thousands of hardworking men and women have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers put profits ahead of safety. Manufacturers knew the risks of asbestos exposure for years, but knowingly manufactured and sold deadly asbestos-containing materials, putting millions of American workers at risk. These manufacturers have tried to avoid compensating their victims, but the courts have ordered them to set aside an estimated $30 billion in trust money for the victims of asbestos. Call now to see if you're entitled to a portion of the $30 billion. You could receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or going to court.
Call 1-800-476-2350 now for a free legal consultation. Again, that's 1-800-476-2350. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
What makes me a weather geek, the fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hitting me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at weloveweather.tv.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8, brought to you by Walmart. Save money, live better.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 57, winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy. Wednesday night, a mostly clear sky, low 55, winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Yes, another cool day for us in the Northeast today. Record cold high temperatures today have been set in a couple of places, including Boston and Hartford. And look at the numbers right now. It is not June, right? 49 in Boston, 51 degrees for us in Hartford. But we know we've got the possibility for some changes. We'll talk about that in just a second. Today's high temperature in Boston, 52. That's the record that you tied it back in 1926. Hartford, Albany in New York. All very chilly numbers today, not indicative of meteorological summer, that's for sure. In Albany, just 57 degrees today. All right, so think about this. We've had some cold afternoon temperatures because we're not really getting the sunshine, right? But at nighttime, we're not setting record low temperatures. Why is that? Well, it's because of the clouds. And you think, well, okay, I'm confused now. What's going on here? Clouds deflect sunlight, so when you have the high sun angle, middle of the day, when you get peak heating, you're not getting a lot of that solar radiation to come through. But at nighttime, the radiation that you do have down at the Earth is actually down at the ground, is actually trapped because that cloud deck actually acts as a bit of a filter here and keeps it down. All right, so it keeps it out and it keeps it down. Does that make sense at all? So it acts as more of a solar blanket, if you will. If there were no clouds there, all the heat that we build up down at the surface would just re-radiate back out into space at night when you have your coldest temperatures, and that's why you get cooler at night. This is why you have such big temperature swings in places like the desert, because we have a big diurnal temperature swing where you have a lot of sunshine, you warm it up during the day, and then you clear it out at night and it gets really, really cool. Now, for those of you that live in the Northeast, by the way, we have some good news. Are you looking for warmth? Pattern flip-flop could be coming our way, and we're looking forward to it.
That's right. Dr. Navarro here to talk about the changes coming.
Changes are coming for sure, and we often think springtime in June, you're expecting change, right? Well, here you go. Cool and rainy weather in the Northeast. It's been in place now for a week or so, but fast forwarding to next week, we're seeing that jet stream slip its way off to the east, and now a ridge building up on the East Coast. And with that ridge, warmer temperatures and typically a lot nicer weather.
Yeah, and you mentioned then for some in the West, that means that change to cooler, rainier coming back into play.
Coming back into play for sure, and unfortunately that's typical for this time of the year, so guys, I'm really sorry that rain on the way back. But check this out, that ridge in place, temperatures 10 to 20 degrees above average, and so now places like Sioux City, South Dakota have seen 4 straight 90-degree temperatures, and they're still going to be coming through the end of the weekend. Highs remaining 10 to 20 degrees above average in the plains, but fast forwarding into the weekend and then next week, there you go, in the Northeast, summertime temperatures finally arriving here in June.
Wow. So a big change as you go from having the heat on to the AC, sweatpants to shorts.
Sweatpants to shorts, and like you said, unfortunately, that means your AC bill might start running pretty high. But like, take a look at these numbers. DC, your forecast for tomorrow. So now typically we're around 82 for our average, 69 and rain in June. But looking ahead to next week, 95 degrees.
So if you don't like the heat, enjoy this while it lasts. If you don't like the cold, just wait a few days.
Right, exactly. Taking a look at Atlanta, we're typically around 85 for a high, so we're below average for the most part, but fast forwarding again, getting up into the mid to 80s here, so it's going to be feeling very warm and muggy, unfortunately. Boston, this one gets me. 64 degrees tomorrow for your high, all the way up to 88 degrees next week.
Big changes. All right, so we asked you to tell us on Twitter to describe the June gloom in 5 words, and boy, people have been creative.
They've been creative. They've been funny.
Yeah, they have.
We've been having a good time behind the scenes, so let's just get to them.
Let's
so
do it.
from Vince, we got all year in Michigan. 5
This
words.
is true.
I have family in Michigan. They can attest to that. Yeah. Josh says summer buzzkill for all.
Totally.
That works.
I think he's ready for summer.
Yeah, I think so. Itching for some warmth.
And he's our doctor who comes on and talks about like seasonal depression with us too. So he's feeling, he's getting calls.
Yes. Then we've got our own meteorologist, Alex Wallace, who decided to play along with us today. He got some alliteration going. Month-long case of the Mondays.
Perfect. He's also my favorite Alex, by the way, here.
Mine too.
Yeah.
And the last one is Christina says, wake me when it's July.
Yeah, she's giving up on it.
She's just like
already writing off June.
She's
like
writing
that.
it off.
I'm out.
Great comments, everyone. Keep sending them. Find us using the hashtag WUTV. We got a lot more to come here on the show tonight. Hopefully you can stick around. By the way, we've got a lot of stormy weather across the south. That's not over yet. Find out what flooding is highest right now. And it's Creature Week here on the Weather Channel. And snakes are featured today. The weather's influence. And could we actually find cheap anti-venom?
It brings the heat and keeps you out of the kitchen. And at $550, your budget won't go up in smoke. Cabela's Pellet Grill. Great price, lifetime guarantee. Only at Cabela's.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember.
Wow. Good to know we have that on our Prius. And lane departure alert.
See what
I mean? With so many safety features like pedestrian detection and lane departure alert, Toyota doesn't need us test dummies as much.
Oh, I get it, man.
Hey, I gotta get my thrill somehow.
The 2017 Prius with Toyota Safety Sense Standard. Toyota, let's go places.
Pick a car. Any car.
Just want to find a used car without getting ripped off.
Search millions of used cars and find a great deal at Carfax.com.
That would help. Show me the Carfax.
Only Carfax gives you the most accurate price based on a car's history. Just look at all the great deals.
Thanks, buddy.
Boom.
Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search and get free Carfax reports at the all-new Carfax.com.
Would you like to overcome sluggishness? True Biotics can help you feel lighter, more energetic by naturally supporting your digestive and immune health. True Biotics, a daily probiotic that helps restore the balance of good bacteria. True Biotics from Wenaday.
The average family's hectic home. It's raised one daredevil, two dynamic DIY duos, and an entrepreneur named Sharon. It's witnessed 31 crashes, 4 food fights, and the flood of '09. It's your paradise perfected with Behr Premium Plus low odor paint. The best you can buy starting under $25. Unbelievable quality, unbeatable prices. Only at the Home Depot.
Oh, hello. Lucky for me, there's some great golf here in the Carolinas. Whether you golf or not, Geico could help you score some great savings on car insurance. Maybe even hundreds of dollars. Whoa! Oh, hole in one. And that's a par 5, mind you.
See how much you could save on car insurance. Go to geico.com today.
Colon cancer screening for people 50 and older at average risk.
I think it's time for a new screen. For a different kind of screen. For colon cancer. Thought about it? His wife asked about screening options, and her doctor ordered me. I'm Cologuard, the non-invasive test you use at home. No special drink, just a trip to the bathroom.
Cologuard, colon cancer screening that's as easy as get, go, gone. Cologuard is not right for everyone, so ask your doctor if it's right for you.
I think what's most exciting about the future of meteorology and the Weather Channel is that we're always going to give that little extra nugget about the science behind it that you can't get with a scroll of your finger, that little interesting tidbit to kind of spark an interest in somebody watching. Want even more from the Weather Channel? Join us at weloveweather.tv.
Closed captioning brought to you by Beltone, your premier hearing care partner.
Introducing the most innovative, discrete hearing technology available.
Having restored hearing is the reason why I'm back doing the job I love.
Those we trust Beltone.
Well, the National Weather Service is surveying damage from an apparent tornado that struck eastern North Carolina. You're looking at video of that storm, and now we're going to show you the aftermath. This video in the town of Bethel. This is north of Greenville. Take a look at the damage.
The old country store was seriously damaged here, and flying debris from that structure hit and damaged 2 other homes nearby.
Yeah, big problems. A lot of cleanup out there today into parts of eastern North Carolina. We welcome you back into this Tuesday edition of Weather Underground. I'm Alex Wilson.
And I'm Mike Bettis. Let's kick things off in the Carolinas tonight, taking you to Charleston, where you really haven't been able to catch a break from that rain, have you?
No.
Flood advisory in effect this afternoon. That has since expired, but still expect more rounds of storms to roll in tonight, and they may not even give up tomorrow either.
No. So you know what you do? You find one of those awesome restaurants on King Street or anywhere in Charleston. I mean, they're all over the place. We're talking award-winning restaurants. Cozy up for a nice dinner and just wait the rain away. Then you can go out on the boat, get a good look at the sunset, hang out on the beach another day. Here's the water vapor imagery. Take a look at that tropical moisture streaming into especially Florida, but also parts of the southeast. A lot of moisture across parts of Georgia and the Carolinas. So you saw that picture in Charleston. That really has been the issue today. Clouds, rain showers, a gloomy, dreary Tuesday. Tuesday living up to its reputation. You know, we're not quite towards the middle of the week. We're still early. We're all a little tired. Friday still feels really far away. Rain continues into places like New Orleans, southern sections of Mississippi. Biloxi has been getting soaked. We're right around this area of low pressure, and you can actually see these showers and storms moving from north to south. Over here, we've got more of a northerly direction, so spinning along with that low. Future temperature radar, this low is going to move towards the east as we go through the later evening and overnight. But look at the heavy rain that will continue into places like Charleston through the overnight hours. If you like to sleep on those rainy nights, you're in luck because you've got it. We get to tomorrow at lunchtime, still have some persistent heavy rain showers into parts of South Georgia and southern sections of Alabama. Also throughout Florida, where they have been wishing for the rain, they've been getting it. Mike, it's coming with some lightning, but all in all, this is very good news for the state of Florida.
It really is. We have been waiting for this for months. We've been suffering through drought. We've been suffering through extreme heat. We've been suffering through wildfires. Collier County in Florida here. This was earlier today. Heavy soaking rains and standing water everywhere. And if this is your vacation week in Sarasota, no fun. It is just a soaking rain, but this is what we need to eradicate our extreme drought. Take a look at the storms this evening. They are coming with some lightning, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and track how much lightning is happening for us here in South Florida with this cluster of storms. And estimated here, about 1,400 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes just in this small area in South Florida. But obviously, we've got issues here with the storms. We'll zoom down even just a little bit closer here and show you that there are plenty of storms from, say, Fort Myers, just north of Alligator Alley, but a little chunk there, a little cluster of storms about to come into Naples, and storms right between, say, Fort Lauderdale and Fort Pierce as well. We'll zoom down even just a little bit more on some of those storms and show you that West Palm about to get nailed by that squall line coming on through. I-95 is about to light up. Same for you down in Boca Raton as well. So a lot of activity for us this evening. No question about that. But let's show you what the forecast is for the remainder of the evening. We'll go through tonight. It's got a pretty good handle on those storms across Central and South Florida. More storms come in through the overnight and early tomorrow, then may last through about lunchtime or so tomorrow. Again, take a look at what's going on for us here, especially in South Florida from, say, Fort Myers over toward Miami. That's lunchtime tomorrow. We got trouble on our hands. We have more storms in the forecast. There's a look at the forecast through tomorrow. Most of the peninsula of Florida has severe weather chances, including hail, but mostly wind with these storms. And then portions of South Georgia has issues as well. So just watch those tomorrow. There could be some problems for us. For most of you, you'll have lightning. That'll be a constant issue with all of these storms. But as far as the drought goes, the area highlighted in red here is where we have the extreme drought happening for us right now, mostly Central Florida. And well-placed rain, that's for sure. Good chunk of 3 to 5 inches rain coming our way all the way through Saturday. So it's not like we're getting it all in one day, although we've had some pretty heavy downpours. We're likely to spread this out over several days. Reduces the flood impacts, but basically eradicates drought. It's truly a drought buster, Alex.
Yeah, all good news. And for the most part, the soil across Florida, it's able to take in a lot of rainfall. So you really have to get some high totals to see significant flooding issues. Let's take a look at Tampa, for example. We get down into the city of Tampa. You get those rain showers, but it's a sandy soil across parts of Florida, South Florida especially. And that water is able to travel faster through the sandy soil. It's able to get absorbed quickly. So you get the moderate rainfall easily filtered by the soil. But keep in mind, rainfall rates, rainfall amounts, that's important because if you were to see a very heavy rainfall rate, say over an inch an hour through a period of time, and you were to get several inches in a short period of time, that kind of intense rainfall can still cause some flash flooding if you do see that column of the soil fully saturated. And in Tampa, we're thinking still to come upwards of 4, even 5 inches possible. Now, this is through late Saturday. So as Mike mentioned, the good news is that we're looking at this to be a prolonged rainfall instead of talking about, say, a 4 to 5 inch total in just the span of 24 hours.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
It's Creature Week on the Weather Channel. We're celebrating creatures of all shapes and sizes on the Weather Channel, including the ones that Indiana Jones was afraid of, the snakes.
Right, and you would have thought he wasn't afraid of anything, but snakes had his number, and they're known to hide out in unexpected places. The idea of one wandering in your home without invitation might send shivers up your spine, but what would you do if you found one in your toilet? Take a look.
You thought it was an urban legend, a snake in the toilet.
There's a snake.
But it happens more than you realize.
It's very possible for a snake to find its way inside of a toilet bowl. They have very malleable bodies. They can fit through all kinds of really tight crevice areas.
it doesn't surprise the experts that snakes like bathrooms.
People tend to think that reptiles like to be in extreme heat all the time, and that's really not true. Reptiles seek out cool places.
Snakes have been known to slither indoors to avoid extreme weather.
There's a snake in my bathroom.
So if you live in an area with lots of snakes, what can you do to keep your toilet snake-free? Should you? A, put a grate in the pipe leading to the sewer. B, head up to the roof and put a screen over the vent. Or C, put a lock, like a child safety lock, on your toilet seat. Major choice? Surprisingly, the vent stack is how most snakes sneak down into toilets. Screen it and you can rest easy in the restroom. But what should you do if you're unlucky enough to find a snake in your toilet?
Holy guacamole.
If you ever discover a snake in your toilet bowl, the first thing you should do is call your local animal services.
She tried to flush him.
Speed dial.
Speed dial?
Animal services, hello. Snake in my toilet.
Yeah, because you don't even really want to reach in there. I said you don't want to reach in there.
There's no point in time would I ever want to reach in my toilet, even if there wasn't a snake in
Especially
it.
to get a snake out.
Just me.
I got you.
Me, I'm calling you.
I can't believe that happens. I'm actually I'm shocked that they like to, you'd think they'd drown, but I guess.
And they go up through your roof and come down. Now, that was interesting.
That is interesting. All right. Well, let's test your Creature Week knowledge. In the United States, which state has reported the most fatal snake bites since 1900? Is it A, California, B, Florida, C, Georgia, or D, Texas? What do you think?
I have my guess, but I'm going to
You're not going to tell everybody.
For now.
I'm going to guess Texas.
I'm not picking that state.
Why?
Because you did.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, when we come back, we are going to be talking about a deadly connection between the weather and snake bites in certain parts of the world. Dave Malkoff is going to join us in the cave next to talk more about his trip to Sri Lanka and his story Snake Storm that airs tonight right after Weather Underground. This was some pretty amazing stuff.
Absolutely.
And coming up, we're answering your questions here on Weather Underground, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Nab in the house because a lot of them are tropical related, including this one from Eric Walker. Hashtag WUTV, how many hurricanes will the USA have this year?
Oh, I like how Eric just went all in. He's like, I want a number, I want to know.
Wow.
He wants an answer.
All right, we're going to put Dr. Nab on the spot, I think.
No joke, right? One of those places that's no stranger to hurricanes is Charleston, South Carolina. There's a live look at it right now. Looks like there could be a hurricane, right? It's just been gloomy, gloomy. Temperature 72 degrees right now. We may have some relief coming your way. We'll talk about a pattern flip that's coming up in just a little bit. But notice on the radar this evening, plenty of showers for us in the Palmetto State tonight. And as you mentioned, Alex, why not hang out at one of those fine restaurants they have tonight? Just watch the rain from the comfort of the climate-controlled restaurant.
How about a little low country shrimp and grits to warm you up, make you feel
now you're
all
talking
cozy.
the language.
I can get on board with that too. Hey, we'll be right back.
By the way, I'm taking
Brought to you by AARP, Real Possibilities.
Connecting with my friends, love it. Connecting with some sketchy guy from a block number who just called saying he's with a tech company that needs remote access to my computer to block a virus he detected. Really?
Hey, we hear you. That's why AARP created the Fraud Watch Network, to help you protect your family with information on the latest scams so you can spot fraud from a mile away.
If you don't think this is right for me when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
Brought to you by AARP, Real Possibilities.
60% of women are wearing the wrong size pad and experience leaks. Introducing Always MyFit. Find the number that's right for your flow and panty size on the top of any Always pack. The better the fit, the better it protects. Always.
Your eyes have a protective lipid layer that can break down and cause dry eyes. Soothe XP from Bausch & Lomb helps restore this layer, seal in moisture, and protect against further irritation. Soothe XP, extra protection for dry eyes.
I was thinking super glue brush.
I like the nozzle.
Brush.
Nozzle.
So
nozzle?
Gorilla Super Glue, brush and nozzle.
Of course.
Brush for edge-to-edge coverage and nozzle for precise application, all in one for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
All this week on GSN.
Everybody back!
Watch it.
Family Feud's craziest families week. Check your local listings for GSN.
You don't let anything keep you sidelined. That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. For the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure, always be you.
Not all chicken strips are created equal. At Boston Market, we hand bread our new all-white, all-breast meat chicken strips and bake them for a crispier crunch. Oven crisp, because baked is just better. Boston Market.
Let's party!
Call the clown!
Parents aren't perfect, but then they make us Kraft mac and cheese, and everything's good again.
When these Ram trucks roll out, every minute counts. Every mile matters. Every road leads to someone in need. That's because these Ram trucks belong to the First Response Team of America, and they haul hope to tornado-ravaged towns across the nation, helping communities rebuild and storm survivors start over. This tornado season, buckle up and ride along with the team on the Weather Channel. Ram Trucks and the First Response Team of America, powering the road to recovery.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast. It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
They're not just words to mow by, they're words to live by. The John Deere Z-Track Z345R with the Excel Deep Deck to mow faster, better. Save $500 on the Z525E Z-Track residential mower at your John Deere dealer today.
Before the break, we asked you which state has reported the most fatal snake bites since 1900. California, Florida, Georgia, or Texas? If you answered Florida,
I
you were
didn't.
Right. Texas would make sense, though, dear, because it's a big state.
It is a big state. I figured there were a lot of snakes, too. I was thinking, well, the Sunshine State reported 7 deaths from snake bites since 1900. So the good news is there weren't a huge amount. Texas was second with 6, so it was awfully close. California, Georgia also follow close behind, 5 and 4. And then 3 states, Ohio, West Virginia, and Missouri, tied in 5th with 3. So, yeah. And it just goes to show you, spread across the country.
The good news is snake bites, fatal snake bites, are pretty rare in the United States. All right, there's actually a deadly connection between snake bites and the weather. Our Dave Malkoff traveled halfway around the world to Sri Lanka to bring us the story.
This is what happened when you get bit by a snake.
My toes were tingling. My body was tingling. Within 3 minutes of being bit, I was literally paralyzed.
Todd Fassler lives in California and made the big mistake of touching one.
I kept telling everybody, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
There's 2 vials in this one box, so this is about $6,000 for this one box.
There were 3 doctors and 2 nurses, and I think at the same time, they were all injecting anti-venom in me.
Starting dose is anywhere from 4 to 6 vials. Given as much as 60 vials on a bite.
They gave me 24 vials of anti-venom.
Many hospitals have that expensive anti-venom in stock. This is Todd Fassler's initial bill.
My total hospital bill was $153,000.
Depending on which snake bit you and where you are on the planet, the anti-venom vial doctors give you may be very different than the one Todd Fassler got. But in a Weather Channel exclusive, we're about to show you how a new kind of anti-venom could save lives all over the world.
This is revolutionary for you, isn't it?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
And our own Dave Malkoff is here in studio to talk more about that bill.
Yeah,
both of us
amazing.
went.
Yeah. Nobody knows how expensive snake bite is until you actually get bit by a snake and you actually need it. The bill was $153,000, but the pharmacy was $80,000. It was $80,000 just for those vials, and they're not. You were asking if there were different kinds of medicine. No, it's just one medicine called Crofab, and that's why in the segment before, when you showed that there's barely any deaths in the United States, that's why, because we have this amazing drug called Crofab that goes through all the pit vipers in the United States, and it works. You're seeing it right here.
All right, so Dave, you traveled to Sri Lanka, and you got up close and personal view of these snakes, these
very close,
really venomous snakes. But something, people are trying to do something to bring at least the cost of the antivenom down.
Yeah, people in the third world don't have the type of insurance that we have in the United States, so there's no way that they could afford even one vial of antivenom at $6,000 a vial. So what they're doing is they're building these nonprofits around the world, and they're trying to bring down the cost. And I have some breaking news for you tonight that they're actually going to go into beyond the pre-process, the trial process. They're going to go into full production now on this drug that is being produced in Sri Lanka. Wow. And so they're bringing horses in from other parts of Asia, and they're putting them in Sri Lanka, where they inject the horses with a little bit of that snake venom. It doesn't hurt the horses, but it makes them produce the antibodies. So when they produce these antibodies, they can take them out of the horses, they can clean them out of the blood, and that is what the antivenom is.
Incredible
wow,
stuff.
That's amazing.
And you know, you talk about a place like Sri Lanka, you know, we looked at the amount of deaths that we've had here in the U.S. Whole different story over there, unfortunately, partly because of where these folks are working and where these snakes are found.
Exactly. 100,000 people die every single year. Not get bitten, but die every single year because of that. That's a Russell's viper, and that's a very deadly snake. And you can see them working in these fields here. And we got that close to a Russell viper. It was very nervous moments, yes.
But you're going to find some fascinating stuff tonight when you check out Dave's special, Snake Storm, airing immediately after Weather Underground tonight. I can't wait to see it. It's going to show us the deadly connection between snakes and the weather, plus the venom, and how different parts of the world are affected differently by snakes. Dave, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great stuff. We're going to talk to our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knabb, about the early part of hurricane season next.
Those who suffer from lower back pain go to great lengths to find relief. Finally, there's drug-free Aleve Direct Therapy, a TENS device with high-intensity power that uses technology once only available in doctors' offices for deep, penetrating relief at the source. Aleve Direct Therapy.
I was out here smoking instead of being there for my son's winning shot. That was it for me. That's why I'm quitting with Nicorette.
Only Nicorette Mini has a patented fast-dissolving formula. It starts to relieve sudden cravings fast.
Every great why needs a great how.
No matter when or where severe weather hits, storm recovery is something we all can lend a hand in. And one of the best ways you can help is to donate blood. That's why the Weather Channel is partnering with the Red Cross. Here we go. Whether preparing for a storm or assisting in the aftermath, a donation of blood helps save lives, period. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to learn more. Help with tomorrow's recovery by donating your blood today.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 57, winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high 80, winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday night, a mostly clear sky, low 55, winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You know, when your mom and I first started dating, it was the easy...
Not helping. It just really hurts.
When someone breaks their heart, be soft.
Yeah, I know.
When that breaks yours, be strong.
You're lucky. Man, when I was your age, the only girl who would talk to me was Grandma.
Life takes softness and strength.
I had no game, son.
Which is why we make Angel Soft with a balance of both.
Mom, Dad, we need to talk. In case you haven't noticed, things have changed. I'm not the same person I used to be.
I think it's time we take things to the next level.
Kids grow up, so do vacations.
3 theme parks, 5 resort hotels.
I'm ready.
Are you?
Universal Orlando Resort.
With the Travelocity Customer First Guarantee, your only worry will be that one rogue cloud.
Get help with hotels, free 24-hour flight changes, and our price match guarantee.
Travelocity. Wander wisely.
Hi guys, it's great to be here. In the desert, at the mall, on the mountain, at school, at the beach, in the Big Easy. Yeah. Today I want to show you guys the next gen Chevy Equinox. What do you think? That's pretty. Pretty sexy.
It looks aggressive.
But not overbearing. It's not too big, not too small.
Seems like the perfect car for anybody.
I would take it anywhere.
She's a bad mamma jamma.
Current qualified GM lessees can get this introductory lease on the all-new 2018 Chevy Equinox for around $249 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Hi, I'm Ty Pennington. The average person spends 282 minutes on their smartphone every day. But it only takes 60 seconds to find your perfect mortgage with Guaranteed Rate's easy, intuitive loan finder. Just go to rate.com and answer a series of simple questions about your specific mortgage needs. And the intuitive loan finder's powerful decision engine will generate a customized list of the best loan products at the lowest rates for you, all in less than 60 seconds. And all for free. Guaranteed Rate has helped over 500,000 happy customers find the right mortgage with low rates. And now they've made it even easier. Choosing the right mortgage could save you thousands of dollars. Isn't it worth only a minute of your time to check your options? Whether you're buying or refinancing your home, get a low rate from Guaranteed Rate today. Visit rate.com right now to see how much you could save. Call 1-888-812-5050 or visit rate.com.
What makes me a weather geek? The fact that I love the weather, especially when it's hit me in the side of the face.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys.
Be one of the thousands of weather geeks out there at weloveweather.tv.
It was 16 years ago this week that Houston was slammed by Tropical Storm Allison. The city saw 80% of its yearly rainfall in just a few days.
Yeah, roads were swamped. 18 people drowned in the Houston area alone. Across the U.S., 41 people lost their lives. 95,000 cars were flooded. More than 30,000 people were left stranded in shelters.
Allison caused $5 billion in damage. It was the first tropical storm name to be retired. A lot of hurricane names are retired. We know that. It's a pretty common thing, but it's the very first tropical storm name to be retired. That's how impactful it was.
And one that our own Dr. Rick Knabb pretty familiar with, because you've got family in the area that lived through Allison.
Yes, and I went to junior high and high school there, and I remember calling my family in Houston. They said, Rick, when is it going to stop raining? I said, it might be a few days. I mean, if that was happening in this year, we would be talking about Allison starting yesterday, and for all of this week and all of next week as it went along the Gulf Coast. You don't often think about tropical storms and hurricanes, one of their most deadly and dangerous characteristics being their forward motion.
Right.
But a slow-moving system can really rack up the rainfall totals, and we were measuring the rainfall in feet, not just inches.
Almost
during Allison.
3 feet of rainfall in some of the northeastern spots.
Yeah, so a multi-billion-dollar disaster caused by rainfall and flooding turned the freeways into rivers, flooded the medical center, and it is a very memorable storm, and we're just so fortunate something like that isn't happening right now.
And maybe a worst-case scenario, because Houston is one of the most flood-prone major metros in America.
Yeah, and in many ways, the freeway system is the drainage system, so it's kind of hard to avoid those kinds of impacts when it rains heavily there. But, you know, fantasize a little bit more about what it would be like the rest of June if we lived past history. Another week from now, we'd be dealing with Agnes. And that ended up being a very deadly rainfall and flooding disaster in the Northeast in 1972. And then we had Audrey in 1957. That took 416 lives. And that was later in June. And then Alex, 2010, when I was here last, remember that one? That was a June hurricane, went into Mexico right at the end of the month. So you see, the problem with June is, you know, some of the storms I just listed and many others have formed so close to home, and they have huge impacts, a lot of them due to water.
Yeah, I think you mentioned, you know, a lot of people tend to write off June and think, all right, September is really the time I need to, and late August, but June can have some very, very impactful storms.
Yeah, and just look at history to tell us just how deadly and dangerous it can be in June, as well as the rest of the season.
Now, on the flip side of that, and you talked about this a little bit last hour as well, there have been some notoriously slow starts to this season where that A storm didn't come for months.
Yeah, think about how peaked the Atlantic hurricane season is, with most of the major hurricanes' big impacts in August, September, October. In fact, sometimes June and July can be crickets. You know, nothing going on hardly. And sometimes it takes till almost September. We've never had to wait till September in the reconnaissance era since 1944 to get our first A storm, but we had to wait till August 30th in 67 and in 77 with Arlene and Anita happening just 6 hours apart in terms of the lateness into the year. Alma, August 27th. But look at those notorious names that were late bloomers, late beginnings to the season. Andrew and Alicia. Wow, big impacts that took a long time to occur after a quiet start to the season. So don't lull yourself into security if June and July don't
and
bring
when
anything.
Andrew struck, at the time, it became the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history.
At the time,
At the time, it's since been eclipsed, but that stood the test of time for a while until Katrina came along.
Yep, and 1983 and 1992, both way below average years overall, and I lived through Alicia personally, so I don't care what the numbers are, I don't care what June and July are like. One storm at some point during the year can make it a bad year for you.
Okay.
Something to remember, so don't think that just because you got off easy through the early months, it's all going to be okay. Hey, we've been getting questions from you. We've got a couple for you, Dr. Nab, so I hope you're ready. Catherine behind the bar. Let's get into some of those.
So we'll keep it with a tropical theme.
Let's do it.
Because those are the questions we've been getting. So for Dr. Nab, Eric asks, how many hurricanes will the USA have
We
this
said Eric
year?
is getting very
He
specific.
just wants to know.
All right, Nab, just throw it out there. Just tell us how many it's going to be. We know you know.
I want to know the answer to that question, but nobody knows the answer to that question. So I'm not going to pretend that I know. But I will say that, like in 2010, we had a way above average year, not one hurricane hit the U.S. 83, 92, way below average years, major hurricane impact. So the overall busyness doesn't tell you what could happen, and nobody knows at this point.
All right.
Thank you for your
Sorry,
question.
Eric. We're just not going to go there.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay to say you don't know.
That's an impossible question to answer,
really is.
though.
And the answer is we'll know in October.
Yeah, there you go.
So again, keeping with our June and July discussion that we just had, Flamethrower and Ruby asks, what is the possibility of hurricanes hitting the U.S. during June and July specifically?
Well, we just went through a list of some notorious June hurricanes and tropical storms that caused major impacts. July can have them too, but again, what happens in the early part of the season tells you little to nothing about what might happen in the peak of the season. So the atmosphere is so difficult to figure out when it comes to where hurricanes might go. We just know they're going to be some this year. Get ready where you live in case it's you.
Off the top of your head, so the season goes June 1st through the end of November. Which month is least active climatologically?
You'd have to look till November.
November. Okay.
Yeah, but
we get this peak, and then it drops off pretty quickly.
It does. It does.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Nab.
You want to join in on the conversation? We've got a team of experts here. They're always willing to answer your questions. Use the hashtag WUTV.
Hey, for all of us here at Weather Underground, thank you for watching.
Have a great night. Remember, together we know more. And more creatures tomorrow, don't forget. And I'm not just talking about Mike. What?
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under sunny skies. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 57, winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high 80, winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday night, a mostly clear sky, low 55, winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just heard there's a cobra in a house.